Hello and welcome back to the Remembering Tuscola webcast. I'm David Porter. I'm here with my co-hosts Abbott and Costello, or
Cheech and Chong.
the
We prefer.
the
Oh,
affable and the laughable.
there we
Who's
go.
on first? Remember?
Yeah, what's on second?
Yeah, what's on second? No,
We've got Mike Carroll and Bill Englehardt, the the heart and soul of Tuscola.
well, I don't know about that.
It's on life support then.
Hey, David, I got to visit with several of Mike's relatives
Mike's
recently, and
relatives?
yeah, his cousins.
Hmm.
Had a good chat with them. I think they like the program. They like what
He saw him at, we lost another good friend, Les Hall.
Yeah.
I roomed with Les down at Eastern one year. He's a great guy, passed away too early. And condolences to his family, his children, Ellen. Too many people our era are
well,
leaving us.
well, in this short amount of time here, uh, I've been touched by five recently, and Mrs. Briggs, former teacher who I worked with, and then Bob Taylor's grandson, Dylan.
Mhm.
And of course, then we lost Harlan Hatchell, class of 67, and our good golf buddy, Jim Huser,
Oh, yeah.
passed away
Jimmy.
too. And then, of course, Les was,
68, I think.
yeah, 68. And my neighbor, good friend, good kids in the family. That was a pretty tough week, but it was nice to get to see some of your cousins.
Yeah, Tim was a classmate, McGuire from Indianapolis. Mickey Joe was a year or two away, I think. Good friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tim watches our show. I think Mickey Joe does. You got the McGuire clan watching your show.
That's good.
Always good to have McGuire's in your corner, I'll tell you that. Get the Irish in your corner.
Yeah, that's good. David, what it's all about, they really enjoy the pictures. Of course, you've talked about the fact that so many enjoy the pictures and tune in to the Facebook page.
Well, it's fun.
That's
We never know what's going to come up. I just grab a envelope of negatives. And sometimes we don't even know what year they are and don't know what's inside, and we don't make any uh judgments as to, I'll weed out of, if it's a dead body, I won't put that on there. But doesn't matter who you are. Um,
This is a
don't, we
democratic,
don't we don't play favorites.
non-discriminatory, democratic American institution.
That's right.
And Bill and I are glad to be part of the institution.
We're glad to be here.
They've let you out there a couple of times, the institution, haven't
You
they?
say you're glad to be instituted?
Well, I never had to go to military school, let's put it that way.
There you go. Oh, well,
I figure I'll be instituted at some point.
I learned some things.
It straightened you out.
Yeah.
You were headed to
Did I
prison,
ever
buddy.
tell you about going to Lawrence, Kansas, playing at Haskell Institute?
No, you haven't.
I will.
You don't want to do it now?
No, I don't think so. They turned us loose one night in Lawrence, Kansas.
Huh.
That's a pretty exciting story.
Well, there's more to the story.
Okay. Well, you got a military school. Letting those kids loose, you could wipe out a whole generation of other kids.
Oh,
Or
it was
create a
different.
whole nother generation of other kids.
Well,
There you go. That's a possibility.
Yeah. You and Skinner cut a wide swath, buddy.
I'll just say he did. I
Yeah,
just watched.
You were right there behind him,
Well,
about 2 inches.
I don't want to hear any more about this story.
No.
No, we're starting to get,
Yeah, we'll get.
we're
I
getting
want to hear
into,
about Bill washing Skinner.
Indian
just,
school.
just Google Haskell Institute, Bill Engelardt, Greg Skinner. That's all you have to do.
No.
I'm just wondering if you do a facial recognition on those two against
Yeah.
Facebook
Hmm.
accounts in that area, it
Yeah.
would pop up with
Yeah. Well,
some.
you can do a DNA test on almost any criminal in the nation. It traces back.
Something to that.
That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, by the way, the book signing, you had a book signing, David,
We had a book signing. Yeah,
uptown.
I sold a book.
Attaboy.
Yeah, you had a good day.
People come over and buy Mike's book, then they look at me and feel obligated to buy my book.
Well, I had two young ladies talk to me about the podcast, and they enjoy seeing that while we were there that day.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some positive feedback.
Well, you did.
Well, I did. Well, they didn't want to bother you while you were
Yeah.
signing your books.
Yeah. Bill keeps getting positive feedback all the time. I get no feedback. Do you get any feedback, David?
All the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll be darned. Maybe I need to get out of the house.
More often.
Maybe I need to go to IGA.
Yeah, there you go.
You ready to see some pictures?
Yeah,
Sure,
let's go.
Let's hit the road.
We'll start with one that I have
That's Hastings.
no names for. Oops.
Yes, Bob's mother.
I wonder. Maybe not. They sure look familiar.
Do you know who this is, David?
I don't have any names on this one. But I'm
Okay.
guessing it's at the nursing home
Yes.
because I have a lot of pictures from inside the nursing home.
Possibly.
Oh, this is Ligas.
This is Ligas. Tim Hole thought Kent Ragsdale bottom right, but Connie Smith says pretty sure that is not him.
No, I don't think that's Kent.
No.
Wow.
So we don't know who these people
I don't know
are.
if that's Tuscola group or not. I'm going to say Hugo.
Is that a recording device?
Yeah, they probably, whoever's going to speak wanted to probably project their voice. That's probably a portable mic system.
Mhm.
That's Ligas when you go through the great big smorgasbord line. I remember Ligas smorgasbord line. Trying to see who's there. Looks like Bobby Steele, who just passed away recently, the old music teacher at Atwood. I don't know if it is.
Don't know.
Look, Karen Binion thinks so. She says Melody Egan, Sherry Egan Wolf, Sherry Long, Mary Jane Ballard, Bob Steele in the buffet line.
So Atwood folks.
It could have been the Egan bus service, or they had a big crowd of people. Could have been Atwood School.
Could be Jack Liga on the right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And probably Mary Liga.
Bob and I went to Millikan in 1965. Very talented musician. Did a great job with the Atwood music program and band.
Remember in the old gym they used to play above
Yeah.
The back court, the one basket.
Yeah. I think Bob passed away just, about 6 months ago?
I'm not sure.
I remember reading about him dying. He had a brother that I met. Yeah, that's the Atwood Egan people. Now this is nursing home again, it looks like.
Nursing home again.
Trying to guess who Santa
I
is.
wonder, well, whoever Santa is, he brought those two little girls with him.
Connie Smith says it's Glenn Smith, Smitty as Santa.
Could be.
Oh, so the little girl, one of the little girls, Connie?
Well, I don't know. Could be.
Could be. Maybe not, though. Connie was classes 68 or not, 68.
Yeah, these are probably from the 70s.
She married Del McAvoy.
Pretty girl.
Yeah. Married an Arcola guy. That's probably AB. There's Sonny Kleiss on the left. And
there's Shirley Taylor.
Yeah. There's on the left is Sonny Kleiss and
Bob Taylor behind him.
The head of him. Then Shirley Weber Kleiss. Becky Alexander is there.
That is Becky, I think.
Well, she was in that group, I think. And that may be
Yeah.
Best. Is that Karen Best?
Well, that was my initial reaction, but I don't think it is.
ABC used to go up and sing.
Eric Alexander says Nola Panger.
Yeah.
Nola Panger.
Right.
Nola on the right.
Benny.
Benny.
It's Benny Donahue from Camargo in the Bibs. Benny used to hang out at Bob's service station.
Yep.
But he was a resident of the Martin nursing home for years.
Yeah.
Santa's giving him
everywhere. What did you say his last name is?
Well, I think it's Donahue.
Because others on here say Benny Taylor.
Well,
I just knew Benny.
Just Benny.
Yeah, that's all I ever remember is Benny.
Excuse me.
I only have a vague memory because I was a lot younger than.
Yeah, believe me, you would have. Benny's been gone a long time.
A lot of stories about Benny on the Facebook page. So,
really,
always in a good mood.
Yeah.
Always kidding around.
And kids liked him, and he liked the kids, and just a nice guy.
Local fixture.
There's another one with no names.
I'm guessing this is back in the 70s. Tuscola International Airport.
That's fine.
Never saw so many planes.
Well, I think they were going to attack Russia.
They were. Those are the first American drones.
Just for fun, I looked up this N number, and apparently, I assume that planes, the numbers get reassigned. It did say that number had been reassigned multiple times, but it is on I don't know what kind of plane that is, but that N number is assigned to a Cessna in Anchorage, Alaska. And it's like a 1953 Cessna.
Looks like a twin engine. That's what Sky King. Remember Saturday morning, Sky King and Penny? He flew a twin engine Cessna. He married a woman from Oakland, you know that?
And he shopped a lot in Newman.
Well, he married a woman from Oakland, so
that's why.
Yeah. Sky King.
Whoa.
Whoa. It looks like 54. Was that Hogue?
Yeah, that looks about like
Darrell Rich is
Darrell Rich style
Darrell
there.
Rich dribbling and Kenny Hogue in the middle,
Talked to
54.
Darrell the other night at a ball game. There's who used to be in the conference.
Unity. Mhm.
Look, Kenny Hogue says Jeff Oakley number 10, Don Kane number 20, and Ken Hogue 54.
This is 1975, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
So we got several pictures from this group, but I didn't see my brother in any of them. He would have been in that age group.
Different uniforms, different age. Is that Dietrich, isn't it?
Looks like Dave Dietrich,
Dave Dietrich.
going up.
Yeah.
Both sides are Tuscola in this picture. It's a inner squad or intramural.
Yeah.
Oops.
Huh.
They got
Oh,
Dietrich.
I'll tell you what, it was a tight game. The score was 1-2.
Yeah.
Look up there at the scoreboard. Low scoring game.
Kenny says number 22, Virgil Watts, question mark. Number 12, Gary Campbell, 42, Dave Dietrich. Next to Dave Dietrich, Ken Hogue, then Paul Kohlbecker. And in the background looking on is Greg Weaver in black and Dan Kane, number 20.
Huh.
That was who's that? Huber?
No, Hope.
Oh, yeah, he would know him.
Yeah.
The lights in the gym now are much different.
Yeah.
And the backboard is no longer a fan board, glass. We played when there was steel. Did we even have a backboard?
Yeah, I shattered it one time.
The steel backboard.
Glass. Yeah. Yeah, I hung on the rim and I pulled the whole ceiling down. I was a very big guy.
Oh.
Gibson would have probably broke the backboard if he hung on it.
If he did ever been up there to grab
If he ever
it.
get up there to grab it. Okay, there's the ABC again.
Dick Parker.
Over on the left with a mustache, looks like Ronnie
Wynn.
Ronnie Joe, who passed away a couple years ago. Linda Kelsey Rogers on the right.
Yeah.
With her arms folded. Shirley Taylor closest to the
Neil.
Yeah. Who's that right there?
Well.
Oh, that's what's her name. He was a barber.
Brown.
No.
Tag.
Oh, that's Vera Tag, I think.
I don't know. Might be.
Vera Tag leaning against the
This
door.
is Shirley Taylor right up here in front.
Yeah, she's in the right front of the camera. Right, left, Shirley Taylor, Vera Tag, Linda Kelsey, Nola Pangburn.
Amy Clark says Veritag on the right next to Mary Lois.
Yeah, she's leaning on the door.
Which would be Myers.
Now this guy, the bald guy, is Cornwell. Remember Cornwell? Came down, his boy played basketball for St. Joe. What was his name?
Gosh, it looked like Dick Parker initially.
I don't think that's Dick.
No, he's too big, isn't he?
That's Myron Pangburn back behind.
Well, possibly. Of course, this would be a young. No, that's not Myron. I mean, look how Ronnie Wynn is.
Yeah.
I mean, man, he's in his early 20s.
He sold insurance down here. His boys
he did.
His boys are really good.
Cornell?
Cornell. His boys are really good athletes at St. Joe. Gene Cornell, was it?
Gene was short. Oh. He was Burris's friend.
Yeah, that's right. He was CIPS.
CIPS.
But he was.
This guy here was a big insurance man.
Yes. But he really was a St. Joe guy. I never did figure out why he was here.
Boy, I tell you what.
Give us initials, we'll get this.
I'm losing it.
I don't have any names on this one.
Huh.
But this one was written on the negative, so
That's Kathy Hull.
Kathy Wade, maiden name.
Mm-hmm. Maiden name, Kathy Wade. Well, her name's there at the bottom of the picture. Now I see it.
Well, you're a little slow. Dave told us, and there it is.
Yeah.
and Erica.
Erica, she had two girls.
Hmm. The Wade house was where Cunningham's were on what street is that?
Van Allen,
Van
Scott,
Allen.
or
Yeah.
Scott.
Remember, right there on the corner. Cunningham's lived there at one time, and then
Right.
okay. That's Karen Wynn. That's Karen Jolly Wynn.
Arcola. We think.
That's the girl, not the horse.
The horse is Bobby Wynn.
I think that's probably taken out at the Wynn farm.
There's Ligas.
Boy, there's Ligas a long time ago.
Yeah.
Lake Brothers built that building.
Mm-hmm.
And if I told you who'd worked on the design, would you believe it? For them, Andrea did.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't it have one roof instead of two?
I don't know.
Andrea missed that.
You'll have to ask Andrea. Yeah. Some sort of thing that they did together with the lakes.
Another picture of the airport.
They're scaring again.
Yeah. Sure is.
With some trophies.
Horse trophies.
Horse trophies. Yeah.
I went out with Karen's sister, Bobby.
At the JVs.
Must be. Who's this guy in the Mustang?
With shorts on
Mm-hmm.
and shoulder pads.
It looks like it.
I think maybe there's something behind him.
I know. I was just trying to make people dress funny back in those days. Yeah, I think it's freshman, sophomore group.
Yeah.
So Josh Herbert says it's himself and Brian Cleland at the scorers table.
Josh Herbert.
So it'd be Josh on the right and that looks like a Cleland on the left.
Looks like Jeff.
Well,
yeah.
Jeff
It wouldn't be
young.
Jeff. Yeah, Jeff was in the sixth grade in about 1979. Talked to Jeff the other night at a basketball game. Jeff and his lovely wife, Leanne.
Josh says it's 1975. He came back for the reunion this past year.
They were our neighbors on Main Street at one time.
So if this is 1975, who are recognize any of the players?
Like I say, these are
These guys are going to play like in 77.
this is like Randy Hastings' class, 77.
I cannot tell who they are.
No
Looks like
name
Gail,
there.
No.
Mary Wayne Huber,
Oh.
Gail, what's her last name? Worked Douglas County Sheriff's Office.
Mm-hmm. Can't give it to you.
That Virgil Watts on one knee.
Usually the 35 millimeter film does not scan very well. I got some to come out a little bit, so this shows that it was on a 35 millimeter. And Kenny Hogue says Chris Little, number 50, wiping his face. Ken Hogue, number 54. David Hauser, 31. And Paul Kohlbecker, 44.
Well, I remember David, Jim and Kiva's son. Kiva worked for Hillard Agency forever. Whoa.
Burris threw the ball up. It's like Burris refereed. He's the coach and he's refereeing. Isn't that Burris?
Mm-hmm. Looks like.
Well, he threw the ball too high.
He says Bill Burrs in black, varsity versus JV scrimmage. He said, I think that's Paul Kohlbecker jumping against Dave Dietrich.
Paul could get up in the air.
Yeah, Dave is a lot taller. Who'd Kenny say these were?
Number 33, Craig Dixon. Number 10, Jeff Oakley. Number 50, Chris Little.
How tall did that Dixon boy finally get?
He was about 6'5", 6'6", wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Can't tell who the cheerleader is. I was looking at the background of some of the folks in the stands.
Well, Jeree Stonecipher says, that's me.
I was going to say Jerry Shook.
Marcy Shoemaker says Karen Kalmar in the stands.
Right there. That's who I was pointing to.
Mm-hmm.
This girl is having a good time.
Yeah, that's back when marijuana was big.
Right.
Oh, that's
There you
cute.
go. There you go.
Wow.
I thought somebody might recognize her, but nobody has. So
Annie Oakley.
Annie Oakley, yeah, that's who it is.
Or gun on their side.
Mm.
Well, that's Marvin Jones in the doorway. This is the hospital. That guy was the X-ray technician, Ned Bachowitz, sitting at the end of the table.
Mm-hmm. This is Mr. Russell here.
Yeah.
That's Danny Russell's dad.
Marvin Jones was chairman of the county board. That was a county-owned hospital.
No one's smiling.
Well, really, you're in a hospital. It's serious.
Mm.
People are dying.
They were having a slideshow.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothy Feeler says third from the left is Louise Bright.
That Mark's mom from Arcola? Tuscola.
Mm.
Shirley Quinn says June Brody, second from left.
Janet Brody's mother.
Janet Brody's mother, second from left. That's possible. Janet had dark hair, like her mother. Well, back to that same inter-squad game.
Yeah, 14 is Dietrich.
Yeah, and 50 is Chris Little.
Because he just knocked somebody over.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on the floor is Kenny Hogue, according to Kenny Hogue.
Well, he spent a lot of time on the floor.
He got tired and would just lay down.
Yeah. Good rebounder when he was standing up.
Yeah, it's hard to rebound from the floor.
Yeah.
Dave Dietrich, 42, Chris Little, 50, Jeff Oakley shooting, and Dan Kane at top of the key.
That'd been a pretty good sized team, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, with Dixon at 6'6", Dave 6'4", Kenny was what, 6'3"?
Mm-hmm.
Could jump out of the gym.
Yeah, he good. When I say good rebounder, he was really a good rebounder.
Yeah, good athlete.
Yeah. I think his boys became pretty good athletes.
They could jump.
Yeah, they could do a lot
Especially
of things.
Kenny Jr. jump out of the gym.
Yeah. There you go. There's little.
Chris Lowe shooting, Dave Dietrich under the basket, Dan Kane, number 20.
Chris knew how to block out
Back when they used to block out.
when they actually blocked out. They actually ran a play. They were still running the single side.
Burris made you run a play.
Yeah.
You can't shoot till you have 10 passes. That was a Gene Murray thing. Can't shoot till you have 10 passes.
Yeah.
But I have a layup. I don't care. You need 10 passes. Original bleachers are still there, huh?
Yeah.
The original upstairs bleachers.
Wow. Used to pull those out. Remember, it took 3 guys
Oh,
to pull those
yeah.
out?
Yeah. Man, you could get killed doing that.
Hurt your back.
Yep.
Another league thing. There's
Carter.
Carter. This is Farm Bureau.
Yeah.
What's on the left there? Is that?
Well, is that Marie Wingler?
I think she worked down at the. I think it could be Marie Wingler. She wound up working at Farm Credit also. Maybe she went from Farm Bureau to Farm Credit.
This lady here on the left.
It's familiar.
Yes, very. Do you have names?
Joyce Lewis says the lady on the left was from Arcola State Farm Office. Rich Carter, second from right. Mary Lou next to Rich.
Mary Lou Wingler.
And so we got one more comment.
Greg Carter was son of Rich. And remember Greg in school?
And he had a couple daughters too.
Yes, he did.
That were closer to my age.
There's Country Company's insurance salesman. On the right is
Lyle Davis on the left.
Chick Schroed on the right, Wes Ragsdale in the middle, and Leonard Bunning, second from left.
Craig Thornton,
second from right. Leonard would come home. I'd be there with Mark and Larry, and he'd say, I only got 2 words to say about Oscar Mayer wieners. Hot dog. You got some good golfers right there. Chick Schroed was a great golfer.
Yeah.
Was about a 2 handicap.
Yeah, Bunning was good.
Bunning was a really good golfer.
Yeah.
I don't think Wes.
Wasn't I talking about this yesterday? That Schroed offered me that job at that time.
You had a chance to sell country companies?
Yeah.
You'd have been a tall cotton.
Would I?
Well, you had to work. You had to go out and actually stand at
right.
IGA and sell policies.
Yeah. I just finished at Arcola and was coming to Tuscola, and Chick offered me a job.
That's right. You had to buy his book, though.
Yeah. I had to play golf with him, and I did. I qualified for the country company's tournament that year. Yeah.
Back then, you had the good golfers back then were Clark Igo and Leonard Owen, Chris Voltus. They really had a bunch of good golfers.
I really like Bunning.
Hope Easton says Lyle Davis Newman first on the left.
That's what I said, Lyle Davis.
Okay.
Yeah. I was familiar with Newman people. Well, there's Connie Schroed.
And Mrs. Schroed on the left.
Mrs. Schroed on the left.
Mrs. Chick Schroed. I don't see.
This Mrs. Ragsdale.
This is right. I don't see Bunning.
I don't see Mrs. Bunting.
Miriam, was that her name? Miriam Bunning?
Mm-hmm.
Carol's in my class. Carol Schroed Pierce, just a great gal. Everybody likes Carol. Carol married a decal guy that Bill knew.
Very well. Tom Pierce. His brother, Bob, was a longtime teacher in Tuscola system.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful teacher.
Played the banjo.
Did you get Gene Davis?
Mrs. Davis in the back.
Yeah.
Gene Davis was a music teacher at Newman High School. Well, Newman District. She was the
Speaking of Newman,
music.
Last night I was at a luncheon and I spent about 15 minutes talking to Jim Allen from Newman,
Mm.
the mayor, great guy. We were comparing all of our heart procedures. He's had more than me, but you get to an age where you just start, well, you know that.
Well, yeah, that's what we talked about yesterday.
Bill and I went to lunch up at Champaign with a friend and we talked about our health and surgeries. And Bill said, I want to talk about golf stories and women. And I said, those days are over, Bill. We're on to surgeries, dying.
Gene Davis also taught French.
French? Parlez-vous français?
Oh, that's German.
That's
Francais.
Manus taught at Tuscola.
Yes,
What
she
do they
did.
say on Beverly Hillbillies? Parlez-vous français, monsieur?
Mm-hmm.
How about some more of those beef techies? Bonjour, bonjour.
There you go. This was when they opened us up. They
Rehabbed inside that building.
inside of that building. Looked really nice.
Yeah.
Kind of a farm look to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, those boys all made a good living off of
They did.
selling country companies insurance.
You had to join the Farm Bureau back then. It cost $10, I think.
Yeah, I think it's 25 now. Wilma Allen ended up after she finished her teaching career. She was my country company's agent for a while.
Yeah. Looks like Wayne Meyer. Well, I don't know if it is.
That's who I thought, and that's who Eric Alexander says. So
Looks like young Wayne Meyer, and it looks like
I think so.
Is that Jack Allen sitting there?
No, that's not Jack.
Over to the right.
Eric says Floyd Ron on the right.
Oh yeah, big tall Floyd. He was about 6'4". Great man. I lived about 2 houses from him. He and Ortholine, I think was his wife's name. They had 2 kids. Wendy Ron played on that Oklahoma Championship 60 team with Tommy Mercer and Carl Court, and Twyla, daughter. Last I knew of Wendy, he was selling insurance in Carmel, Indiana. Very successful.
Wayne was a good guy.
Yeah, now there's
Wayne and Margaret.
that Burris's friend Cornell, right?
That's
there.
Gene Cornell.
Gene Cornell.
Yeah. And that is Orlena McDaniel.
Yes, it is. ABC again, I think.
Yeah, that's a real good picture of Gene Cornell.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the manager or something. He moved, got a big
CIPS,
promotion, something like that.
Gas, gas or electric.
He was electric. He was CIPS electric, I believe.
And I think Gene Smitty was ABC too, so that's probably who it is. Glenn Smith.
Mm-hmm. Glenn Smith was a wonderful guy, he and his wife.
There's, what's his name again? Cornell. And there's Tommy Stewart, your neighbor.
Yep, that's Tom. And Sonny.
Sonny Kleiss.
This guy was kind of aloof.
Well, he was,
This
I remember meeting him, talking to him about his boy was.
is this good basketball player? Why did he come here?
Well, I don't know. I never figured that out. I think he was all area, maybe. He's really a great athlete. Yeah, he was a very strong person.
I catch Tom Stewart. I'll ask him who that guy was.
Can you blow that up a little bit in the middle? Trying to see who that is.
Is that Donna Walker?
I don't know.
There's a Pete Buckley lookalike.
Where at? Oh, that's Cornell. ABC was probably our most active club back in the 70s.
Very active.
Rotary and ABC. That looks like a Lee on the left, one of the Lee boys. What was it?
I know you know the second one.
That's Randy Hastings.
Randy Hastings. Lee Hastings.
Even I recognize Randy.
Yeah, he was a heck of a halfback in football and a sprinter and track.
So you got Brian Lee, Randy
Brian Lee.
Hastings,
Brian Lee.
Rick Holden, and Mike Otto.
Oh, that's Mike on the right.
Mike Otto. I'll be darned.
Well, Randy and Mike's hair is considerably shorter now, isn't it?
Well, mine is. I don't know about them.
Well, this, I don't know what year this was. I think Mike
This
got taller.
This about 76, 77.
Well, I think Mike was probably class of 77, wasn't he? Randy's
Probably.
class
Randy
of
was
79.
Randy was 77, 78.
No, Randy was before 79.
Yeah, he was
78 maybe.
When Dietrich and Cross on that great football team was 76, Randy was a sophomore or junior. So it's either 77 or 78.
Well, my brother was 77 and Randy's younger than that. I thought he was my sister's age.
No, I think he was a junior or sophomore that I think. I bet $5 he's between 76 and 78. Make that $4.
Make that $4.
I don't have $5.
Mike Otto was strong. I remember
I
that.
don't remember as a runner though. Was he a shot putter?
No, he's a runner. Strong kid. Physically strong.
Physically strong. Yeah, the shot putter back then in 76 would have been, was that Virgil Watts? Who was the shot putter in 76?
I don't know. Kirk?
No. Kirk Rich?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? Could be. Either Kirk or Virgil.
I'd say Kirk. What do you got?
Or Dietrich watching him.
Cindy Little says Chris Little behind Kirk Rich.
Kirk Rich.
There you go.
Kirk
I got
Rich.
it.
And Eric Alexander says Mark and Melissa Yoder's barn south of Arthur in the background.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah. I knew you were thinking it.
Well, there's the dangerous bend over move. You can hurt yourself. That's a discus move. No, that's still the shot put.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fall forward on your face.
Kirk was a big boy.
Yes, he was.
And this is Arthur again.
Who's our hurdler there? Who was our 76 hurdler?
That's good form on the right. Really is.
Mm-hmm.
According to Kenny Hogue, that's Jim Crowder. And I don't have any names on this one, but I thought it was an interesting picture.
I'm trying to figure out who the ref is.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say Steve Thomas.
Well,
Steve used to referee.
it's a little bit big for Steve, but it could be Steve.
Well, if you look at him,
yeah, could be Steve.
he let his hair grow a little bit.
Yeah,
They might have had him come up as a neutral referee.
he's an Urbana guy. Hall of Fame.
There's David Porter.
Well, we were in Kenny Hogue's wheelhouse here today.
Well, Sonny probably wanted him to be in the pictures.
Yeah, soon he needs to see those photos.
Yeah.
She was
boy.
over in Korea when he was doing that stuff.
Oh, he was cutting a wide path.
He was a good natural athlete, just a great guy. Burris really liked him a lot.
Good boy.
He did what Burris wanted.
Yep. This snow's sticking outside. We're sitting here watching it snow.
Oh, I can see it. Starting to look a lot like Christmas.
You think winter's here, David?
Winter's been here for a little while, Mike. If you got out of the house, you would know that.
I know, but I can't make it down to IGA like Bill. Hey, Bill, we got some extra time here. Tell us about this thing that happened in Missouri.
The Haskell Institute.
Yeah, tell us what you did there
Well, we just met people, you know.
at the door.
The,
Ask them what they thought of the podcast.
no, we played Haskell Institute and in Lawrence, Kansas.
What is Haskell Institute?
It's a Indian. You have to be eight. It was like back then you had to be 80% full-blooded Indian
Oh, okay.
from the tribes in Oklahoma, Kansas, and whatnot. And up in the stands, there was a guy sitting with a cavalry hat on, an Indian, and he had braids and everything, and he would beat the drums. They just pressed the tar out of us. That's all they did. They just ran and ran and ran.
Did they form a circle and you were down the valley?
Yeah. But anyway, they had their cheerleaders were pretty girls.
Did you win?
Did we not? The game? Can't remember.
Well, you remember the girls though.
Well, I remember there were pretty girls cheerleading, and they had us come down after the game for treats in the cafeteria or whatnot to eat something. And we got acquainted with.
Is that one of your most unusual athletic events then?
That was very unusual.
Well,
Haskell Institute.
One of my most unusual was pitching for Bob Hastings' EI League team. We played the federal prison in Terre Haute.
That would be unusual.
And they had guards on the outfield wall, so nobody would run over the wall. I think Jungle Jim Rivera was playing for him. He was a White Sox guy who got in a little bit of trouble. You know, that's the bad thing. I thought we had lunch down there with the prisoners at the federal prison. They had hot dogs, baked beans, and some kind of carrot cake. I thought, this is the best food I've had in a long time. I thought kind of about going to prison.
Did they have cheerleaders?
Well, yeah, but they were guys. They were guy cheerleaders.
So then he became a judge and sent people to prison and said, hey, they've got good food, you know.
They've got good food.
I did. Before I became judge here, I went over to Danville prison with Charlie McGrew and Tommy Martin. We drove over. The warden at the time was Johnny Chambers.
Yeah.
And we toured it. And I wanted to see where I'm going to send people, what it's like, you know. And heck, they had ceramic class, they had painting class. They got canteen, they got money for canteen stuff. They were allowed 3 electronic things. One guy had a radio, a TV, and something else. And I said, well, this isn't too bad. You just can't get out a lot.
You can't get out and about. Can't get out and around.
But it wasn't
hot than a cop.
It wasn't brutal. And of course, Vandalia is where we sent most people. I was minimum security. They called it the peanut farm. They talked about when I was stationed in the 70s, Hedrick, the old sheriff at Champaign County, said every winter about now, the homeless would show up, the hobos would show up with their suitcases ready to go down to the peanut farm in Vandalia. And it used to be a crime to be a vagrant. You could send someone to jail for being a vagrant. The Supreme Court outlawed it, says you can't punish someone for their economic circumstances or for poverty, which was a good decision. Mm-hmm. So Everett Hedrick said this one guy showed up. He said, I'm here to go to Vandalia again every winter, go down there, stay warm and get food. And Hedrick said, they got a new decision now. We can't send you for just being a vagrant and poor. He said, I'll be damned. So he took his suitcase and threw it through the plate glass window of the sheriff's department. Can I go now? He said, I think we can work this out. Yes, I think we can send you now.
So as a judge, could you decide where they were going to go?
No, used to. Now you just say, I sent you the Illinois Department of Corrections to be placed where they think. They've tried to get more rational. They've tried to have minimum security for people that are property crimes, not dangerous. And then for your really dangerous people, they send them to Stateville or down to Menard. There were some pretty bad places. You don't want to go to Stateville. That's where the Chicago gangs were at. Jeff Fort and the Devil's Disciples.
Jim Gould said Joliet was really.
Joliet is a hard place. Menard is an old, tough place. But they got some new prisons now that are almost like college campuses. except you can't get out.
Menard, when we had the death penalty, they had death row. Was death row in other prisons in Illinois or just Menard?
Well, they tried to specialize. Most all of them had one. At one time, all of them could do that, but I'd say Menard did it. I don't know if Joliet did or not. Joliet had some riots up there. It was really bad. I think they closed Stateville down, didn't they?
I think they did recently.
Yeah. Women's prison were starting to grow with women's rights. So we started getting more and more. One of my first cases was it's hard to imagine at the time a woman committing a violent crime, but we had this one big strong gal got mad. She got mad. Her boyfriend broke his arm and flipped the pool table all right. Lifted up the edge of the pool table, flipped on him, about killed him. I'm going, wow, times have changed. Times have changed.
I can hear Jake now. Put the table down.
I mean, extra quarter. Well, those good old pool hall tables, those are the original 2-inch slate ones. You couldn't flip those over if you wanted. She probably had a cheaper one. Yeah, everything's changed. I have no idea what it's like now today. I remember being state's attorney I actually went down to Vandalia 2 or 3 times to help prisoners get out. They didn't get parole.
You dig tunnels?
Tunnels.
Did you dig tunnels?
Oh, I went down and testified for them. I thought they'd served their sentence, and it was wrong to hold them any longer.
I used to haul corn down there, deliver a bag of corn to the farm.
Yeah, the peanut farm.
Peanut farm, yeah.
What time's the Christmas concert at North Ward?
It starts at 2:30, but you have to be there early to get a seat.
And
you be there to take pictures, or Ben Crane going to be there?
One of us will be there. They have it again at 6, right?
They have it again, yeah, in the evening. This is for the old folks, the grandparents.
And our sponsor this week is Elite Builders.
We appreciate that.
Thank you. David, anything else going on we should know about in town?
Probably.
New restaurant opened up.
You were at breakfast place opened.
Yeah. Do you suppose that sign would put people off to the evening meal because they think they're only serving breakfast?
Yeah, I looked at the menus that were available online, and I didn't see anything but breakfast, but my wife says they do have steaks and some other dinner menu items. And
yeah, they've got their breakfast menu is the biggest 3 pages, but they do have one flip side of sandwiches and some meals. Well, I hope it does well. As it gets cold out, you don't want to drive out of town to eat. And I don't know who cooks anymore. Audrey still cook?
Well, yes, and crock pot, but
oh,
that kind of stuff. But
what's for breakfast, honey? Crock pot?
My
crock pot for a crack pot.
I kind of have a special thing for Marie Callender.
Well, you dated her a long time. And Newman.
No, it's Marie Callender in the at Kirby IGA or whatever.
Did you ever get that ring back?
No, God. Yeah, Marie Callender has good dishes. Quick. I can make them pretty quick.
Do you do frozen food, David, or is that off your?
No, we use frozen food.
When I was going to college, I ate a ton of banquets. For $1, you could buy a banquet meal.
Oh, yeah.
I think that stuff was scraped off the highway.
You know what? Now, Swanson.
Well, yeah, but that cost more money.
That was more money.
I'm talking about banquet.
What was a good?
They had Salisbury steak, which I swear they just ground up some dog. Put some pepper on it.
We eat a lot of Jack's Pizza. Frozen pizzas.
Well, I always thought when I was young, it was somebody's fish sticks, Mrs. Paul's.
Yes, yeah. Paul's fish stick.
Yeah, I thought they were French fries. Put ketchup on them.
That's how I ate them, with ketchup.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I tell you what, we just see a picture of Bill Burris. I miss Bill Burris. He was a great guy.
yes, he
Oh,
was.
you played for him seventh and eighth grade, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
He yelled at me just like everyone else.
Oh man, I got yelled at.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you next week on Remembering Tuscola.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, David.